Sam Levinson really had the audacity to put in the trailer for this movie from the visionary director. Madness and white clownery. Hi, it's Charles and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, yes, my name is Charles and yes, this is my channel and welcome. So today I thought I'd talk about the new movie Malcolm Marie, directed by Sam Levinson and starring Zendaya and John David Washington. When this movie's trailer dropped, I was like, ooh, this looks like it's going to be a serve. It was filmed during quarantine. It's giving me very Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf vibes. So bars were set high because of the way the movie looked and because, it stars Zendaya and John David Washington. So I was like, ooh, all these things make me think that this movie is going to be great. Flash forward now and... So basically the movie is about these two people. They're coming home after their film premiered. Not their film, after Malcolm's film premieres. And basically the whole movie is just them arguing about things like from their past and also the present. And it's just them going back and forth throughout the whole movie. And usually I'm a big fan of these kind of movies, especially if you have two actors who are very game and who are very good and have really good chemistry together. But the thing is, the majority of this movie had to do with film criticism, and I was like, ooh, we're going down a rabbit hole which could either be really good or really bad. For me, I thought what was going on with the whole film criticism portion of this movie was honestly horrific, and here's why. So the movie is directed and produced by Sam Levinson, but it's also written by him, and if you've ever watched a Woody Allen film, you know that there's always a character, either Woody Allen's playing it himself or there's a person who is playing it like Woody Allen. And to me, watching this movie, I really felt that John David Washington's character was a substitute or a stand-in for, Sam Levinson himself. Apparently, Sam Levinson got some really bad reviews for his movie, Assassination Nation. And I really remember when that came out in theaters, but I was like, that doesn't look like it's for me, so I didn't watch it. But you know what? It's hovering around the 75% for critics, and the audience score is really low. So I was like, why are you getting obsessed with a few people who didn't like your movie and analyzed it in a way that you didn't see coming? I mean, as a director, you should know that you're going to be up for criticism, and either you're going to see the criticism coming a mile away or you're not, and you're going to get blindsided by it because you weren't able to see what the film was showing in different perspectives. Which brings me to the whole Malcolm of it, because I really feel like Sam Levinson was grieving his, hate for critics and, how they can criticize a movie without knowing, what the director was trying to convey. They extrapolated what they wanted to extrapolate or see from the movie. And I was like, baby, I don't like this, because you're putting this filter of, this black director is mad because of these people looking at his movie through this kind of lens. And I'm just like, no. I feel like this is you, white man Sam Levinson, talking about why you're mad at critics, and you're just being like, oh, but we're going to make this character black. That way he has something to be mad about. And it's like, I can see through the bullshit, to be honest. Also, I don't know if it was John David Washington's choice to play Malcolm like that, or if Sam Levinson was like, you should play him a little bit more like this, but I found Malcolm to be an absolute asshole. He was a horrible character, and when he was talking about movies and film, I was like, Jesus, this sounds so pretentious. I don't know how Marie is still here. Honestly, though, at the end of the day, if this was really an authentic black filmmaker, he would already be, very guarded and very aware that he will be criticized for things because he's a black director. And, it really wouldn't get to him because he knows, most black people, especially black film directors and black actors, know that they are going to be under higher scrutiny than white people in general. So it's they would be like, well, that sucks that they didn't like this movie or my performance, but they'd be like, but whatever, because it's just white people and that's just their perspective. But Malcolm's character really was going off about how a few bad reviews he got haunt him. And even the movie, the review they're reading about the movie from the white lady critic, it's a good review, but Malcolm just doesn't like what she's saying about it. And I'm just like, this feels very weird. Moving on to Zendaya's character, I'm like, she and the cinematography were the only two things in this movie keeping it afloat for me. I mean, Zendaya was great, and honestly, that fifth slot at the Best Actress race in the Oscars is kind of in flux because no one knows who that fifth slot's gonna go to. And I'd be fine if Zendaya somehow got the nomination, but I don't know. The reception of this movie is very tepid, and her character, even though Zendaya acted the hell out of the role, I'm just like, the character was kind of problematic in certain ways. One thing that really sticks with me is that at the start of the movie, when they get home, she goes and pees. But I think it's only like 10 minutes or something, or maybe even 20 minutes into the movie, and she like goes out into the backyard, and Malcolm's like, "Where'd you go, Marie?" And then when she comes back, she was like, "I had to pee." And then she was like, "Yeah, I peed in the backyard." And my mind was like, "But you just peed when you got home, and why?" And she was like, "Because I've never done it before." And I was like, okay. So Zendaya's character apparently was a drug addict, but in the movie she was clean. So I was like, why are you acting so wild then? I understand the bouts of anger her character had throughout the movie about certain things Malcolm like did, like how he was like very in denial about how the movie he made was partially at least based off her and her life. But you know what? Some moments in the movie I was like, but why are you acting this way? Because if you're clean, like, you shouldn't be this angry at some of the things he says. And honestly, I don't understand how you could let him get under your skin so easily. I mean, the points that Zendaya's character Marie were making about Malcolm, I was like, girl, get him. But when he was making points about her, I was like, this is stupid. Like, your points really have no merit. You're just like, haha, no, I don't like you. Malcolm and Marie's arguing just went round and around and around in circles, and I was like, I feel like y'all have not resolved any of this. After they finished one conversation and moved on to the next, I was like, I feel like you guys have had like these conversations before, but they just keep rearing back up. And I mean, of course that's what happens in relationships, but I don't know. I was just like, y'all really doing this after like the movie premiere, like past 1 o'clock, and waiting for reviews to come up. I was like, interesting way to spend your night when I would just go to sleep after the premiere, you know? At the end of the day, we're watching two very unlikable characters, one more unlikable than the other, in my opinion, like just argue with each other about film criticism and like, why didn't you cast me in the role? I would have been great. And like, ooh, you went to rehab and you almost died, Marie. And ooh, Malcolm, you are so privileged and people think that you went through all these hard things, but you didn't. And I'm just like, okay, sure, you guys, sure. I don't know. I could just feel the white man writing these things for black people, and it didn't work for me. I could just feel like this was written by a white man, and it was, and I was like, white man, you didn't even handle any of this with much nuance. But you know what? In the movie, he was like, authenticity, and I'm like, baby, that is what this movie does not have, authenticity. But yeah, great cinematography, beautiful cinematography, beautiful gowns, great Zendaya. Yeah. I mean, if you enjoy the movie, that's good for you, but I would recommend you watch Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, because if you want to watch not only four white people arguing and them actually talking about really things of substance. I mean, like the whole thing with Marie about her, like, being a drug addict and all that, I guess that was okay, but I mean, I don't think it was handled that well, to be honest. But yeah, honestly, go watch Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, because if you want to see people arguing about things that are really full of substance and giving amazing performances, earth-shattering performances, then I would recommend go watch that movie, because even though the cinematography in this movie is even better than in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, that movie, like, the actors in that movie, they act their asses off, and the writing is even better. Mike Nichols, amazing director. That's why I'm like, go watch Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, the movie I think that inspired this one, but is nowhere as good as that movie. So that's all I gotta say about the movie. I mean, you're either gonna hate it or love it, I feel. Looking at, like, the reviews from critics and the people reviewing it online, I'm just like, it's very mixed. People either hate it or they love it, and I'm just like, choose which one you like. But I'm just gonna say, if you like this video and you like movie reviews, then maybe you should go subscribe to my channel, because I do movie reviews, I talk about Blu-rays, I do music reactions, and I do whatever else I want to do on this channel, because, you know, it's my channel, so I'm going to do whatever I want. So if any of that sounds interesting to you and you like my personality, then, you know, subscribe, because why not? Okay, with that said, I'm gonna go now. So thank you for coming to my channel and watching this whole movie review. And yes, I will see you in the next video if you're there. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go now. So bye.